How's it going, folks? I'm Marcus.
And I'm Rami.
And this is the podcast where we try and figure out what this podcast is about.
And what we're doing with our lives.
This week, I gave Rami a choose your own adventure where we could talk about Apple, MBAs, the Twitter debacle, Goodwill being online, and a few things in between. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned.
Even if you're not interested in that, you should stay tuned. In fact, just stay tuned. For the love of God, don't click away. Just stay with us, please.
Please stay. How's your week? How's your day? How's everything going?
Look, it's mixed. It's mixed.
Yeah.
It's mixed.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
The highlights are the triathlon is just smack bang in the middle of the target. Just, you know.
Are you ready? Are you feeling? Yeah. You're feeling up to it?
Yeah. We're on the ramp. I'm on the ramp. We're up to 9K runs, just casual. Swims. We've got to the 1,000-yard swims straight, non-stoppings.
Good for you.
That's the bike ride is whatever. We'll just roll down the hill, won't we?
Oh, that's great. I'm genuinely nervous. I was just talking to Kel at dinner, like, am I going to drop out or not? Because
no, you're not.
I can't even walk at the moment. Like, I genuinely can't walk. I did But
you can't drop it. Doesn't matter, mate. I'll push you around in a wheelchair.
I'm worried that I might not be able to literally finish it though. Like, as in, I don't know if I can do a 5K walk right now.
What's the walking impediment? Do you have a spear in your calf?
It's the COVID, post-COVID.
Yeah, but like what can't you do? What is you can't walk because of breath?
Not because of breath, just because I'm tired. Like I'm knackered. Like I'm shuffling along.
So we take a break. We take a little break in the middle of the run.
Yeah.
And we just kind of walk again, you know?
Yeah, fine. If you really want me to do it, I'll do it. But like, you know,
I don't want to break you, man.
It's no crack. It's no crack if I'm stopping on the bike to like it. I'm genuinely at this stage worried that I might not be able to do the walk the 5K. Like, that's shit.
Jesus,
like
that's intense. Yeah, that's garbage.
No, but I'm not. It's not forever. But like, I'm just recovering from COVID and I'm destroyed. Like, you know.
I think it's very reasonable, mate. Dude. If you're not up to it, that's not an issue.
Yeah, I really want to just be able to go for a walk, and once I can go for a walk and things are fine, then it's okay. But I'm not there yet. What are you drinking, Modelo?
Yeah, delicious.
Do you not get vicious heartburn from that stuff?
Well, now you mention it.
Do you?
Well, now I do. That's you brought it to my attention.
No, do you? I mean, come on. You have to have it brought to your attention. It can't be very bad heartburn if that's the case.
I can't tell that. All stuff gives me all sorts of nastiness. Beer in general is bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't taste great. It doesn't sit well in your stomach. It doesn't go down well. It doesn't help you sleep.
You don't love beer. Why you don't get it at all? I really don't get it. It's brilliant.
I mean, it's just,
why do you drink it?
I want some, cordial juice,
juice.
Think.
What about mocktails and stuff? You can get all, or like like not virgin cocktails and stuff. You can get all that stuff.
No matter what is on the menu, I will always end up ordering the, disclaimer, girliest drink there is. It will come out in the most feminine, like, glass with the floralist, fruitiest, reddest thing.
Gender norms.
And totally. That's why I said feminine, not girl. Feminine.
I order pina coladas whenever I can. Whenever they're on the menu, I get them.
Rightly so.
They're not on the menu often. Not often enough. They're frequently not on the menu when there's cocktails. And it's disgusting.
They're rare, and that's why you do them.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's not why they do them, but I do love. And
I'm the same with Baileys.
Yeah. I'm a big Baileys fan. I could have done a Baileys now, actually, coming down here.
Alcoholic
that's
milkshakes.
One that doesn't give you heartburn.
There you go. Yeah, there's milk.
Yeah, it's
helps you get to sleep.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's
maybe I haven't been having enough Baileys. I can't even think of the last time I had Baileys. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. It's not
that's what I'm here
at
for.
all.
I'm here to remind you.
Yeah.
You haven't had your monthly, weekly.
I haven't had hardly any Baileys.
Prescription of Baileys. Hardly any Baileys.
Today was the first day back to school for the kiddos. I mean, we're back. I mean, our lives have been...
Thank God.
This COVID stuff turns your life upside down just because you have to do the 10-day quarantine thing, and because we managed to stagger our kids getting sick 5 days apart, because we did the thing of quarantining and trying to avoid them all getting it, and then so as a result we all got a staggered dose.
That's the best way to do it.
I was the first to get it. Rosie got it like, I don't know, 8 days after me or something.
The exact maxi distance possible.
Oh man, and because my parents were visiting, we'd taken the kids out of school the week before so they wouldn't get it or get flu or anything.
Preemptive.
My parents came, brought it, thanks, and then didn't have any symptoms. They were fine. They went away home again, and then we have been paying for the last couple of weeks. Our house is destroyed. Our kids have been bouncing off the wall.
That's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. They just came in. The seagulls just shot everywhere and flew back out. Yeah. I also love the idea of just the trauma that is your house after you've had kids at home for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Did you see the photos I sent you?
Every house has the same trauma. It's just the 3 weeks at home will do it to you.
Bouncing off the walls and can't leave the house and all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, we're on it. God. Tomorrow's a big day. No, not tomorrow. Happening? Friday's a big day. We're getting the built-ins, getting the wardrobes done. So we got closet people coming into for the kids' room and for our room.
That's
you did that before you moved into your house, even, didn't you? Or we did it
in the first month or so. Yeah. No. We did it maybe the first 3 months. I feel like this is a good record, mate. You've done it. It's like 2, 3, 4 years. 4 years in.
4 years in.
That's good.
We're ready
That's
to
good. What you really want to make sure
wardrobes.
You want to make sure you know exactly what you want, and that's why you've gone for a modular wardrobe that you can change at any time. Yeah. Tell me, Closet World, World of Closets, Closety World Closets. Yeah, because they're all the same. They're all the same people, just different salespeople, right?
Who it is. Yeah.
Which one are those?
It's Closet World or World of Closets or one of them. Yeah,
the whole thing's a scam, isn't it? Did you get it? Did you get the sense it's a racket? It's like some sort of Jersey. Cement
it's a well-oiled machine and everything. You had already warned me. I remember you telling me about it when you moved into your house. You're like, everything's like in $1,500 blocks. Like, yeah. So you got the basic freestanding, and then if you want to have the trim on the top, that'd be just an extra $1,500. And then if you want the skirtings and the built outs, do you want to have 2 drawers in it? 2 drawers is $1,500. And then so I was just ready for that. It wasn't too bad in the end. They're 2 tiny closets, but it was given the way I do sums here is I cost it up for what it would cost in Ireland. Then I double it, and then I'm shocked at how much more expensive it is. That's my usual go-to, so I did that, and it was not crazy. It was about the double what it should cost, not much more than that. Yeah.
Well, but you didn't have the pleasure of going to California Closets, though, did you? Did you go
California Closets as well? Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe it's California Closets that are doing it. I think it might be.
Because California Closets, that's definitely best quality. Definitely the sticker shock, maximum sticker shock.
Oh, I think that's
my favorite. Let's put it. If there's a showroom, there's a markup. That's all I'm saying. Great quality.
Let's see. Yep, California Closets going on Friday.
Yeah, that's your max markup. The way you're saying it, I'm like, that sounds like a California. So basically, there's like good quality, high end California Closets. They do the whole thing showrooms. Then at the bottom end, there's Box World. No, what's it called? Storage house, budget whatever it is.
Closets. Yeah,
whatever they call. No, like the actual big box store where you go and then. As a storage world, and as an aside, they also have wardrobe solutions you can sort out, and then there are these middle racket where they're all the same supplier but just have different like franchises of marketing
stick a
arms
sticker on the front of it,
and different like sales tactics, actually different sales models, but the same back end to the point where you're like it's the same stock, right? Like the same demand. Come on, guys, this is nuts. But well, listen. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. Yeah,
love it.
That's no matter what you paid for it, it'll be worth it at the back end.
It will, because if it's done, they were pretty slick. They came in, she had a measuring tape, did the thing, and then she's like, "Just give me a second. I just want to get these dimensions into the computer," and then did a full 3D render of it.
Yeah.
And as you're going, she's like, "Do you think 4 shelves is enough?" We're like, "Oh, 4. What's 5 look like?" She's like, "Ding, ding, ding," and it all drops in. She does the 3D pan. That's okay. You're like, "Yeah, okay."
There you go.
You had us at 3D pan. Yeah,
you just because they're using one of your products or a competitor. Did you get a sense?
It's not one of ours. Yeah,
awkward. Awkward. Did you have that conversation with them? Can I have a discount?
I've had some awkward conversations with architects and stuff in the past where they've not been licensed to use. They use my product, but are not fully licensed for it. So, like when I've been getting some jobs done here in the house and stuff, and they do some drawings, and then they find out what I do, and then Like as if my job is to go around and find individual
You're the
small
inspector.
domestic architects who are not up to speed on their subscriptions.
Yeah.
But there's always that so I just don't tell people now, Yeah. It's like,
You're a doctor. You're the equivalent of a doctor at a party,
Yeah.
but just for architects.
yeah.
SMB freelance architects.
So
great, man.
what do you want to talk about today? Here's your choose your own adventure. You ready?
I love my choose my own adventure. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Goodwill goes online.
Whoa.
Wall Street Journal MBA report.
Whoa.
Apple iPhones in Europe 2024, or
USB-C.
the Twitter deal. All of the can of worms that's going on with Twitter. What do you want to do?
We obviously have to touch all of them. What was the first one? Goodwill going online.
Goodwill. So Goodwill have launched a new online way to sell. So Goodwill. So stepping back, Goodwill here in the US is the biggest secondhand. When you've got all your clothes, your electronics, things like that, you donate them to Goodwill. There's a tax incentive here in the US. They'll write you a little receipt for the amount of goods you've given, and you can write it off in your tax returns. But it's a huge.
What's yours in Ireland? What's yours called?
We've got loads of them, but I don't know what they're called.
Just as
thrift
Vinnie's,
stores,
Australia's Vincent de Paul. It's like a old
we've got
kind of
Vincent de
church
Paul as
associated.
well.
Yeah, Vinnie's is the big one for us. It's the dead
Vinnie's.
equivalent.
Of course, you call it Vinnie's.
Vinnie's, yeah,
you're
Vinnie's.
Aussie.
That's right. It's a saint, but we're going to reduce him to Vinnie's.
So what
St.
they're
Vincent.
doing here, they're just local brick and mortars. You bring in a box, drop it off. They throw out a lot of the stuff, but they sell some of it, and it's for charity and it's a good cause.
Write your own receipt, which I enjoy.
Yeah,
Here's a blank receipt. Please
here's
write your
a yellow
own
receipt. You say how much you donated.
Yeah.
Anyway, Goodwill, they've decided to go online, so they've got a new website called goodwillfinds.com, finds.com. And apparently this is a huge market for secondhand goods, because Gen Z, there's the hipster factor, that kind of what's old is new, and people they want to get legit old goods. There's a big pushback against kind of fast fashion and buying all the stuff from Zara and H&M and stuff that lasts 3 or 4 wears and then ends up in landfill. But so sustainability, there's a big market for used clothes right now. So
Good on her.
So when I was reading about, just reading up on it, apparently Lululemon has a used clothes section, and
I was just about to say, so I see a lot of marketplaces, both startups and established ones, coming through, using our product. There are a lot, particularly in used apparel, of marketplaces, exchange spots. I think Craigslist, but very, very niche. I think Facebook Marketplace, but very, very niche. And niche not just from a branding perspective, but they do local. So they say this marketplace is just for New York right now, or just for Brooklyn. And so the whole idea is that you're able to do this kind of peer-to-peer style, have a look what it looks, see what it looks like, and there's a couple of big ones, and I'll come back with the names of them, but it's definitely a trending thing, and I'm seeing more and more of them. They all essentially have the same thing with tweaks on how you find matching. So some of them you end up
some big brands that were doing their own stuff. So it's I feel like that's, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the Goodwill thing. Well, I've got lots of questions about this Goodwill finds. Do you think it is more sustainable? If you've got someone who's donated a cashmere, I don't know, cashmere vest cardigan in California, and you've got someone who buys it in Idaho and it gets shipped over there. Is that sustainable? I mean, I know you're reusing clothes and all that sort of stuff, but it could just be
from a shipping point of view.
Shipping and just the whole logistics around it. There's a big carbon footprint in just the cleaning
Storage
of
and warehousing,
packaging and putting online, and it's in a data center that's running those servers, and then you ship it to someone on a plane, and then
is that the idea? The idea of the online is that it's about geographical distribution.
I don't know if it's localized or not, so I didn't go on and check it. But if it is, I mean, otherwise, why not just do brick and mortar? If I don't,
because I don't want to have to go into the shop every day, or there's 4 of them within 15 minutes drive, and I don't know which one to go to, and I don't know what their stock is. I can see the local, even if it was just the same store you would normally go into, doing it online makes it convenient. I don't have to go there, or at least I can see their stock before I go there, and I can pick it up. BOPUS, buy online, pick up in store, is the latest omni-channel vibe is. BOPUS.
Nice.
Inventory hell is what it is. I get it. The question is whether it's going to take off from a brand perspective. Because I think, look, in economic downturn, everyone's going to go for secondhand because you don't have money to spend on brand new. And there's different types of secondhand. There's hipster secondhand. There's general kind of working class secondhand. And there's brand high-end secondhand because that's part of the
couture
upcycle
stuff
story.
and the kind of,
Lots of couture. Yeah, I'm going to wear this once, so why the hell wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So I think there's heaps in this market. And apparel's tough because size, is it worn? How worn is it? Kind of does it really work? So I think there has to be a local element. You have to see it, and it is challenging, especially in the low-end volume stuff that you have to play with. But I love them getting into it. Otherwise, they're leaving it, what is essentially their business, up for someone else. As a non-profit, it's good that they're kind of stepping up, would be my first impression. I have a lot of questions about what their model is and how it differs and how they differentiate. But if they do have enough of a model and enough of a brand, like there's a lot of interest happening right now, and I feel like they're stepping up at exactly the right time. That makes a lot of sense to me.
It's something like it's a massive market as well. Here, I've just pulled it up in front of me. It's an insane market. Let's see.
That's why there's startups salivating. Some of the great startups have meetups that essentially do like the New York one that I'm thinking of does bring the package. Like you select a whole bunch of them and then you go to a place and see all the ones that you've just got and try them on. It's a real elaborate way of doing shopping.
So it says here it's a $28 billion thrifting industry and it's ballooned in recent years. This is from the Morning Brew, and it says Levi's, Patagonia, and Lululemon all have their own secondhand shops. So this is a thing.
I remember. I didn't realize Levi has it. And there's also an element of market, like controlling your own quality, right? It's the same reason Tesla does car buybacks and take things off market, so you don't have this swirling secondhand market where the prices aren't under your control. So buying back and controlling that flow, I think, allows you to control your brand and pricing in apparel properly. So I kind of really like the model of getting into it. For what it's worth, all big retailers are essentially starting to use their foot traffic, their real estate, virtual or physical, as marketplaces anyway. So Target has a marketplace for online for anyone else to come in and drop products, essentially drop ship. Walmart's done the same. So everyone's marketplace stuff. Secondhand or otherwise. So I feel like that Lululemon is doing a secondhand trade of their own, kind of logically extends as well.
Do you think the dropship thing? It's an awkward segue, but you think the dropship thing is sustainable, or you think that's a viable business model for individuals now at the moment? So dropshipping. Do you want we should explain what that is? What is dropshipping for individuals?
Basically, cutting out the entire value chain. I am able to design a hat online. I have a manufacturer in Shenzhen or somewhere, I don't even know where you do hats, apparel in Singapore, probably not electronics capital, somewhere, Philippines or Singapore, and I set up a Shopify website, let alone my own website,
storefront,
where I set up the storefront powered by Stripe, and you advertise on Facebook or Instagram. Someone clicks on the beautiful image because it has a lovely hipster wearing that cap with a beard, for example, with lovely lighting, with a microphone in front.
Soft lighting.
Click on that cap, go to my store, buy it straight off, message, the order goes through to Singapore or Philippines, and straight out of the warehouse, manufactured on demand, drops to my home over here in Menlo Park. That kind of pure play, on-demand manufacture drop, nothing in between. There's no warehousing, there's no retail, there's no wholesale, it's just manufacture straight to consumer. It's the direct to consumer model, but including dropship, including the fulfillment side of it, because there's ways of doing direct to consumer.
It's a big way. Content creators sell, through YouTube or TikTokers, things like that. Dropship became a big, particularly during COVID, became a big revenue generator. I'm wondering, does it actually make sense though? I don't know.
What bit of it? I mean, other than creator economy tanking altogether at the moment, let's
talk about that as well. I think it's not viable in terms of there's quality problems and what happens if things don't deliver, and there are actually a lot of upfront costs in terms of advertising and monetizing your audience. And I just wonder at the end of the day how many the volume of stuff you have to sell to make money on it. I just wonder. That's all. There's a
what do you think's changed?
I think people are just more aware of it now. I think people are more aware that when you buy something, don't buy anything off Instagram. Don't buy. I feel like the quality bar is so low now that people kind of realize they're just buying crap. Like it's so easy to go on Alibaba and just order some rubbish yourself from China. It's totally accessible. Like all of that value chain that you've cut out, drop shipping, it's already been cut out through Alibaba. So you can,
just about to say, if there's one tip
for the same money or less,
if there's one tip to give anyone who's listening to us, that is everyone who's listening to us, mum, is if you see an Instagram ad for anything you like, go to Alibaba and search for the same thing. Do an image search for Alibaba, and you'll see the 200% markup that the Instagram D2C brand set up, and it's exactly that. It's not just drop shipping anymore; it's literally reselling import-export from Alibaba. That's happening on IG at the moment. I think that's spot on.
You think it's, but I don't think generationally. I know you said that you shout out to your mom there, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's. I don't feel like the TikToks and the YouTubes are targeting a generation who's not maybe as savvy at going.
They're targeting branding suckers. They're targeting someone who sees chubbies and goes, "That is a funny, awesome ad that looks like me. Therefore, I'm going to buy it." Or
so many chubbies,
or some version of male hair care product, or trimming,
everything.
Where you're going, like
just
for what it's worth, I think dropship's slightly different to Alibaba. I think Alibaba's
right.
Like effectively created a marketplace of dropship type thing. They're the same manufacturers. The difference is Alibaba is not usually custom, although some of their marketplaces have become like Etsy style custom. The dropship story can be almost like manufacture on demand and then go straight from factory, like manufacturer and just in time, and then drop in custom based stuff. But it's all the same vibe of ultra cheap production, and then where in the value chain are you cutting out? You definitely cut out the Instagram ads in the value chain if you're Nousy enough.
Tell me about the creator economy. What happened? Everything was going great. So everyone was their own entrepreneur. Everybody was their own brand. It was all about creating your own channels. I dabbled in it as well, created a YouTube channel and was generating revenue from it. And then we talked about it before. Then Apple broke everything.
Well, Apple broke everything for D2Cs and anyone who's doing ads.
Yeah.
But so there's a few different ways of monetizing as a creator, as we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Be that your subscriptions, or be it running ads, or be it selling content and private and so on. But one of the big ones is sponsorship. So what is sponsorship? It's essentially a company that wants to buy ad space, uses you as a creator, your channel and yourself in some cases, to buy that ad space. So you are the inventory and they're buying up your inventory. What happens in an economic downturn, it's the economy stupid, is that marketing dollars are the first things to go.
Right.
Marketing spend on a hierarchy of TV, digital, newspaper. Micro influencers and influencers are not number one still, even though in the last phase it's kind of come to prominence and there's more and more dollars going into it. It's the first one to go of the lot that is already going, that is all advertising dollars. And so sponsorship dollars have dried up. They're down, 90% to what they were before. And the dollars dry up. What happens is your cost and the value of it, what you used to get paid $10,000 for, you're now getting $500 for or something. The influencers are getting a lot less for what they were already doing before. Now, you can argue it's incredibly inflated and impression numbers were always a bit wonky and people were just a bit speculative on the influencer market, but it's definitely happening right now. People are getting paid a lot less. You can
see it in, I had a look at Google's, the latest quarterly financial reporting. So for the last, 6 or 7 quarters, YouTube ad revenue had gone up quarter over quarter, and Google search ad revenue had gone down quarter over quarter. And what we saw flip this last reporting cycle was YouTube ad revenue has gone down and Google search ad revenue has gone up. The reason being, presumably, that YouTube content is largely consumed on a mobile device, and you've got Apple is asking you, do you want to be tracked or not? So advertisers are less willing to spend on YouTube search as well. But that doesn't happen in a browser. In your Chrome browser, you can, you can still do much more targeted advertising and track people better. And so presumably Google search again is the way. Also the costs, I guess, for Google are lower on Google search because they don't have to pay out creators. So maybe it's easier for them. Maybe they're pushing it more behind the scenes. But I thought that was interesting to see that flip again,
I do, but I lost you for a chunk of that. You were frozen. But I'm sure Riverside got everything.
Great.
Have we wrapped up on Goodwill? I feel like I'm pro. I'm excited. I feel like we should be the ambassadors. We should become their influencers. I'm
You
really
should
into
do the
it.
Lululemon, secondhand Lululemon. I'll do Goodwill.
I refuse to sell any of my Lululemon.
I feel you're head to toe Lululemon, so you could actually set up your own, like your kind of rammy Lululemon brand, drop ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hyper local to 3 houses around me,
Uh-huh.
and just give them whatever they need from me. Luckily, I don't have any Lulu underpants. Just Lulu pants, shirts.
You
vests.
could do this, soiled, used Lululemon gear. Do one of your 9K runs straight up on lulurami.com.
One of the challenges with secondhand marketplaces,
Yeah.
and I'm going to name names, Facebook Marketplace,
Uh-huh.
is weird people, weirdos, just like all sorts of nefarious weirdos on
There
there.
are weirdos, aren't there?
A lot. And I don't necessarily find them as much as females find them much more readily. So an anecdote of secondhand apparel that goes right to the heart of the sort of challenges these marketplaces have. Someone I know, female, who lives very close to me, was trying to sell some shoes on Facebook Marketplace. Old shoes, don't need them anymore. Get rid of those shoes. The messages coming in on Facebook Marketplaces was, I'll buy them, but can I get some more photos with you modeling them? Can you make sure they're not washed? Can I make sure I can smell? Oh, it got
God.
creepy
Oh,
very
goodness.
quick. Shivers down your back, got creepy very quick, very quick.
I think what is it about? I mean, there's the foot fetish specifically you're talking about, which is fine. Whatever you're into, don't do it on Facebook Marketplace though. Let's not ask people to take photos of their feet when they're trying to sell you some shoes. We had a garage sale on the weekend, and it definitely brings out people that you don't run into normally as well. Like, there's something about going through your stuff that people love as well. Not in a fetish way, but there's just like, I don't know. There was like, it was like 50% just normal people or people who wanted to buy stuff. And then 50% people who I don't ever want to see again. You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Where I'm like, get the kids inside, Kel, will you? I got to deal with this now, you know? People who like try stuff on too much or really go like, reading through the manuals of the, of the thing that you're selling for $3. You're like, you can just have it if like, please stop asking me all these questions about this thing. Like,
I'll pay you to get away from here.
Yeah. And then there was like a couple of Gary V's there. There was like people who had like, when they were paying for stuff, pulled out a roll of cash. Like there was 2 guys came and I was selling a really old laptop, like a 2006 laptop. And an old Bose speaker from, again, like it was our 1-year wedding anniversary gift to each other, but like the battery doesn't work on it and we just had it out there. And I was selling the 2 of them $10 each, but the intensity at which they went through, they were like sharks. They went through the things, they grabbed the things, they pulled out a big chunk of money. They were like, you have any cameras? Or, I was like, I don't have any of that stuff. No, we don't even have it in the house. We've never had those. Please don't break in here later. And they were gone. They were like in, got the thing and out. And they're like, they're like garage sale.
Yeah, sharks.
That's what they do full
That's
time.
the job.
Yeah.
Flipping it. There's a TV show in the background.
They know their things. They pick things up, look at it, no, boom, that, boom, 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 through and gone. Yeah. And they were there first, all that stuff.
Right. Opening. Wow, garage sale, mate. That's brave.
Did it. Bike gone, stroller gone. I mean, we got rid of a bunch of stuff, Remy. It's brilliant. I'm going to keep going. Got to get rid of more stuff.
Fantastic.
Our house is so full of stuff. Yeah.
Just a garage sale every weekend. Is that the plan?
I would love to, except we'd have all those weirdos around every weekend. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a big no weirdo sign. So is the idea that you can get rid of stuff and therefore you yourself can accumulate more stuff in your basement? Is this an excuse to get more shit?
No, we literally hit 150% capacity on the house. And it's not like, the way sometimes you say, let's clear some stuff out so we can get some new stuff. This is like, let's clear some stuff out so that we don't just have corridors that we live in our house, like where things are stacked up against the wall on each side. Like let's try and sit on the couch or things like that. Yeah.
Do you have you've got the basement, but you don't have an attic, do you?
We have an attic. We don't have anything put up there, but we do have an attic.
That you can use to store?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Don't be doing that now.
What do you mean? That's the ticket, man.
I'm on the. You can't say that to someone who's celebrating their third week of sobriety, and you're like, yeah, but you know, a little bit of champagne. You know,
you got to spare one, and you got to spare.
I think you've got 2 kidneys.
So you admit it.
know?
You admit it. You are the hoarder.
Oh, I am. Oh, it's definitely me.
Good.
Why? What made you think it was like? I mean, I'm fully.
I didn't think. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Everyone's like, we're open
I've got a
to
real problem with getting rid of stuff. I don't know why. I accumulate, and then I can always think of a reason why that thing will be useful later. Like a third of the basement is just bits of used wood. You know, like from different projects I've done.
That's handy. You want scraps.
I know, but everything I have there's a reason for it like that. I can justify all of them, like as in,
Well, you literally can't name anything that you can never use again.
Right. Until I need it, and then I can't find it, and I'm like, damn it. Okay, I know I have one of these things somewhere, but I have to buy it again.
Then you buy a new one. Yeah.
No, it's a new me, Rami. We're in the
I'm very excited.
Pare down phase.
Very excited by this.
Yeah,
we're already downscaling.
We're downscaling, yeah.
Fantastic. Soon you'll be in a 2-bedroom condo.
No, we're downscaling. No, we're not. We're downscaling just so we can fit in our house.
Just something. Is the house hunt still on, by the way? Or the interest rate's not really
6.5% turns out is not ideal for mortgages. So yeah,
make a house twice the price it was last year.
Yeah, no, we're fine. I mean, this house is fine. I think we might be getting to the point where we'll do a little bit of work on the house. We get a second toilet put in and things like that. We're ready to do that. Go. These wardrobes they're like step one.
This is gateway. Wardrobe's a gateway drug.
Yeah. And I'm loving having this office here in the basement. Like, this is legit. I can work on the bike in the garage. I can do this thing. This house is great. I love this house. I just wish we had better bathroom situation.
You do have a ton of space, like between up and down and across. You've got lots of options.
Yeah, and we could lift it. If we were here if the market goes terrible for 10 years, we can do stuff here too. We can make
on year 9, you can make a decision to commit.
Yeah. We're painting. We're painting before the wardrobes go in, so that's a big one.
Fantastic.
We just agreed it just before I came on the call. We're going to go charcoal in the wardrobes in our room, white in the kids' room.
Between now and Friday.
Yeah, before this call, I just taped the walls and the floor and everything. I was like, this evening frantically. I had to, because they don't do any prep work for so ours is it's got like all these timbers.
You have to rip it all up yourself.
Ripped it all out. I was doing the polyfiller, what do they call it here? Spackling the walls and then sanding it, and then all that needs to happen is let that dry, and we're painting it tomorrow evening, and then they're coming on Friday. So
I feel like one hot tip is for some of the trimming type stuff.
Yeah,
like the baseboard, if you want the extra frilly trim, or the top one, which makes it look really baked.
Mm-hmm.
The installer usually has some extras, and you can slip them like a note. Yeah, that's like less than the official one, and they'll just whip it in there for you.
They'll just do it for you. Okay.
I think that's how I got my base. Both actually, the trim and the base.
Okay, you just kind of tack that on.
Just a little bit of
those in the van.
Because you see it in, and they just kind of place it for you, and you're like, oh, that is much better. Yeah, I'm being a cheap ass. And they're like, well, we could just kind of.
Yeah.
How convenient. You've got the exact right size, the exact right amount to fit my.
I saw some cool VR stuff. We just had our Autodesk University, and there's some really cool, real augmented reality headsets. Did I send it to you?
No, hit me up.
Super cool. So integrate into your hard hat. You're in your site mode. You're down. You're either surveying a building. Like the example they had was like a bunch of pipes on a wall where you need to put in a new isolator, a new valve, and things like that. But you can. So you're looking at it. You've got your hard hat on, and it's just like a yellow visor, like eye protection you have to wear inside anyway. So it's just a drop down eye protector, but it's got integrated dual lens VR, 3D. And what you could see on the screen, I'll send it to you. What you can see is you've got someone there who's looking at this place where these pipes don't exist yet, but he can see them. He can work with them. He can mark them up. He's got. It's not a wand. It's just using his fingers. He's marking things up, doing call outs on it, like where these connections need to go. It's fully interactive as he looks around, like kind of the places he needs to route it. Really cool stuff. Really cool. Yeah.
Brilliant. Industrial applications from HoloLens onwards have been clear. I mean, Google Glass itself went to medical and industrial, and they had all the whole. It became a B2B use case, and then HoloLens really, I think, knackered down on it. And I fully believe that's clearly one of the more fruitful of the commercialization angles, right? other than entertainment and consumer and productivity.
Construction, maintenance,
everything,
owner occupier, all that stuff. Yeah,
education, medical, basically, like every industrial application has something.
Yeah.
Even if it's the lightweight heads-up display plus.
Yeah,
right. Stuff that's happening in sport. I mean, in every field, I think you're going to get that. It's definitely. I'm convinced it's a new paradigm if you can get the form factor down.
Yeah.
It's clearly the new compute paradigm. It's how primary it is versus secondary. I.e., is it still Apple Watch or is it actually the thing you do? Is going to be
right. The thing that was jarring to me was just how seamless it was because in the context that someone wears a hard hat and safety goggles already, there's literally no downside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone who wears sunglasses outside all the time, or someone who's wearing specs all the time, like anyone who, we're all going to become eye people.
Yeah.
Or as an aside, I can tell you my random eye lasering incident a little while ago.
Oh no! Tell me about it. Have you had LASIK?
I've had to have lasers in my eyes, but not for LASIK. So long story short, I went to my yearly eye check about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and they're doing the eye check. Obviously, getting older. They gave me a heads up about 4 years ago that I'm going to start needing to do.
You're getting older. That in 4 years' time you'll be 4 years older.
That's exactly what they said, and I'm like, how did you know? How could you possibly have known that I was going to be 4? They said, no, you're going to start needing bifocals. What's happening is that your eyesight's getting better in one respect. So I'm long-sighted, and that's getting better. So I'm getting better and better. I shouldn't need glasses there, but you do need glasses for the reading, etc. So this is the first prescription where they've gone, well, you could just start getting useful. And they're not called bifocals anymore. They're called progressives.
Yeah.
And the progressives mean that you have like 4 different lenses in your eyes.
Yeah.
There's like distortion
kind of a
between each
linear
time.
spectrum of lenses, yeah.
But there's like anyway, so I didn't do it this time, but maybe next year. Long story short,
when you do it, just quick tip, get the light, the ones that change color in the sun. Make sure you go for those.
I've heard that.
They're good.
I've heard people they're back in, is what I heard.
Much better. I would just recommend you get those. Anyway,
yeah, see, that's what I come for. These sort of recommendations.
Yeah.
Do you want one of the imaging things called an Optos machine? Anyway, do you want an imaging? It's $25 extra out of pocket. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's just do the imaging. Does the imaging, has a look, goes, there's something weird in your left eye. I've seen this. Well, first of all, there's something in your right eye, but it looks like it's old. It's fine. It's not a problem. Something in your left eye, though, this has changed since last time we did it about a year ago. I'm pretty sure it's fine, but you should go to a specialist and get it checked out. No worries. 3 days later, I'm at the Stanford Eye Institute for a 4-hour appointment because obviously they have to like numb your face to be able to do this thing. I'm in there for that. It starts going in. He numbs my eyeball, starts getting with a stick and like getting to the back of my eyeball to have a look. And it was the most, I was not ready for this examination where it was just.
Could you feel it?
Feel everything, even though it was numb because he's in there pressing the back of the eyeball.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just so garbage. I'm not good with this stuff. And he comes up and he goes, look, your left eye, what they're worried about, we think that's fine. However, your right eye, something fishy there. There's the thing that they saw, which we think actually is a problem because it's fluid. We need to talk about that. But there's this other thing down the bottom that you can't really see, but when you do see it, it's there, and it's a lump, and we really need that looked at by the tumour specialist. Right.
Holy
You should come
shit.
back in. You should come back in.
This is a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, this is like 2 months ago. So come back in 2 weeks later, and like the thing is like tumour appointment, possible tumour, blah, 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 blah. Cool, okay. Come back in 2 weeks for another 4-hour appointment on a Friday. So I'm rock up. And now it's like more pokes, more prodding, more whatever, the whole deal. They dig in, they look at it, and she comes in, she goes, okay, you got 2 things. One is like there's some retinal detachment that has been healed over, there's some bubbling. If we don't seal that off right now, that's going to go out. And the other is this other lump. It's not a tumor, it's probably benign, blah, 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 but we're going to try to just burn it out because we don't know what it is. I'm like, cool, should we do that now? They're like, yeah, we're either going to freeze it or we'll laser it. Let's start with the lasering and let's go for it. So for 40 minutes, I was sitting in this chair with everything numbed up, with my pupils dilated, as she was burning the back of my retina in this, what they call like a seal pattern. So they're basically sealing off, like fusing layers of the retina together through burning them.
Like cauterizing it basically.
Correct, in case the fluid doesn't come out and detach. And I can smell it, and I can feel the zapping in the back of my eye.
You can smell your burning eyeball.
I can smell the back of the eyeball, and I can taste it at the back of my eye. It was just like... All this is very impressive. Obviously, amazing they caught it. And imagine if they hadn't caught it, something had happened. Like very, very
horrific.
lucky. But
what would have happened if they hadn't caught it?
so this thing could detach, right? So if not
You
a
could
huge
lose your
likelihood.
sight or something.
You lose your sight. So the retina detaches and it goes further and further. It was luckily far away from my field, but it goes further and further and gets towards the field, and away we go. And same with this lump. It's got some fluid, and if fluid gets loose, then we can have all sorts of
Jesus,
problems.
Rami. But people must have this stuff all the time and don't know about it as well. Like if you hadn't gone and all that stuff, I don't know.
Just the serendipity of like one casual, why not? Yeah, I might as well do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they actually
Now you've done
misdiagnosed
3 visits and you're getting your eyes lasered for 40 minutes. Yeah.
Right. But like the optometrist misdiagnosed the right one and misdiagnosed the left one, where 2 wrongs make a right.
Oh, God.
And the ophthalmologist looked at it and went, no, they're exactly wrong. The one she's worried about is not an issue. The one she wasn't worried about is an absolute issue. And let's laser
Amazing.
that. So like there was a real...
Well, that's reassuring for everyone, isn't it? Yeah.
for all the viewers back home.
I had an eye incident a couple of years. Eyes are horrific because you
the
have to
worst.
look at the person who's doing the thing, which is freaky. I had a little piece of steel in one of my eyes. I was on the scooter and I went under a bridge and a drop of water fell at the exact time I was going under, went ding, straight into my eye. And for 2 days I thought I had an eye infection because it was so scratchy and itchy, and I was trying not to touch it. And I went into the optometrist, and no warning, he just goes, "Oh yeah, you have a piece of steel in your eye. I'm going to have to remove it now." And I went, okay. And and he left the room to get his stuff to do it. He did 2 drops in my eye, which just made my eye go totally numb or whatever. Like, and it just like, so I couldn't move it, but I could still see perfectly out of it. And he came back in with a little drill, and he drilled the I was like, I'm not ready. Like I was, it happened so quickly from like me being like, is that an eye infection? He's like, no, you've got a piece of metal in your eye. If I don't get it out, it's going to be bad news.
Emergency. Go.
To him drilling with me into my eyeball. It was crazy. I mean, it
not
wasn't
right,
as serious as yours. It didn't invite, like I was never going to, but it was
That's
still
not
intense that I'm lying there looking at a drill in my eyeball and hearing it. No, I was just like, I've had braces and teeth removed and like the people freak out about dentists and teeth. I've had all that stuff done. Something about your eyeballs is just when someone's doing that, you're like, this is not natural that I'm letting you do this to my eyeball.
It's totally your mind. Your mind is playing so many tricks about the size and the feel, and you think your eyeball's like a squishy thing that can get popped. And you definitely have a reflex to like, that's why we have eyelids and eyelashes to kind of get stuff away from your eyes. So the reflex is very much.
Someone's poking a stick in the side of it like you had. Please don't do that to me.
For example. Oh, man, it's very, you're spot on. You can
I'm
see
glad you're okay, buddy. I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It was like a couple of weeks of, am I really that old already?
Jeez. Bifocals is embarrassing enough, though, isn't it?
That's not hasn't happened yet. This is still normal glasses.
On the way, though. Your optometrist says you're aging, apparently.
Yeah. It's clear.
Although your optometrist doesn't seem to know everything, do they? They seem
to know left or right.
Left eye's good, right eye's bad. Wait, hold up your left arm. You don't know, do you? You don't know. You got this far. Okay.
How'd we get there? What happened?
Twitter,
Apple VR, Twitter.
NBA.
Twitter. This is basically Elon. It's not even Twitter, is it? No, wait. It's not just Twitter. It's the emails.
Let's talk about it. Let's do the whole thing.
Oh my God!
I think it's time we recap on what's happening.
It's the emails. The recap. Musk was going to be on the board. Jack calls Musk. Musk goes, "I'm going to go on the board." Jack goes, "Hallelujah! It's the day I've been waiting for." Musk has chats with the CEO, the new CEO, go all up, and decides, "Bugger this! I'm not going to be on the board because I can't interfere enough. I'm just going to buy it.
Buy Twitter.
Just going to buy you."
Yeah.
All hell breaks out over many, many months.
Offers 54.20 because of 420. That was the reason he picked that number.
I love how I hate you so much. This riles you up so much.
He made the offer in April, which is when they have the 420 is the US code for marijuana or for drug use.
It's the police code for
police code for so he offered that amount, which was hilarious until the share price
tanked.
And then suddenly he's paying $50-something per share.
Sure enough, Tesla tanks, his wealth tanks, the price of this thing tanks. He's like, I'm overpaying. Quick. It's about bots. It's about...
There are too many bots, more than 5%. You told me there's only 5%. There's loads of bots.
There's way many bots. Look at my feed. Look at all the Russian bots on my feed. I want out. Due diligence. You need to prove to me there isn't. Otherwise, I'm not happy. I want out. Countersues. They sue him for not going through the deal. He countersues. as part of the countersuing deposition emails.
Well, before the deposition, then we have this leak from the security guy at Twitter saying that there are, Chinese and Russian, folks.
I feel like he was discredited quite a bit, wasn't he? I feel like he was a whistleblower.
It was part of the. It was like episode 3 in the Twitter.
Yeah, it was definitely part of the drama, wasn't it? So he was notionally the head of security or involved in TNS, and he came out as a whistleblower saying, "Yeah, they're covering it up, and I've been fired because I kept on raising the bell." Mm-hmm. But then a lot of the internal Twitter folks are backing up the CEO, going, "No, this is all." Meanwhile, the CEO, in the middle of all of this, fired the head of product, fired
a bunch of
key people, head of product who happened to be much beloved and was on pat leave, fires him in the process. It was just a disaster.
Amazing.
Complete saga. The whole thing is playing out like a melodrama.
Text messages come out. Text messages. We were supposed to have the trial mid-October, which I was excited about, like the 17th of October or something, and that was going to be amazing. That was going to be the next Johnny Depp trial, like even better.
100%.
But then... Yeah, but it's not going to happen now, unfortunately.
But then the text messages come out, the sequence of events, the text messages get out as part of this. I don't know, 135 or something, 35 pages, something quite a high number, between Musk and all of the Silicon Valley peeps, the network. And Larry Ellison,
Joe Rogan is texting him about it.
Joe Rogan's texting him. Between Musk and Jack Dorsey, the original founder and left the CEO of Twitter, still CEO of Block. Also Shaman, between Musk and Jason Kalanis, who's notionally a bad guy around the Bay Area, but part of All In Pod, VC, Musk and Dave Sachs, who is notionally going to be the CEO once Musk got installed. Then Musk and Larry Ellison, Musk and Joe Rogan, Musk and people, and it is the most juicy. Forget
what happened. The way that they text, even the way he talks to people.
Is forget what Adam Levine, forget chess and anal beads that people are using for cheating in chess. Forget even the 35-gram sinkers in the fish in Cincinnati and the top. Forget all these scandals that are happening right now. This leak of, well, not even a leak, it's a deposition of text is the greatest real life insight there ever. It's just brilliant.
It also it peels away the curtain, because the way everyone justifies the beautiful mind aspect and says, these people are thinking on a different level and they've done their due diligence and there's a business model behind this, and then you read some of the text and you're like, it's just
shooting from the hip, just rich people.
It's I figured out how we can monetize it. We could do a $5,000 private group. It's just oh my God, these people are just like us.
So that was Jason. That was Jason just riffing he's drunk at a bar. Yeah. Jason Glennis going, it'll be huge.
Some ideas about
it'll be amazing. I've got amazing ideas how to turn this around. It's going to be amazing.
Stop. Why are you pushing this marketing thing? Please stop.
And he goes, please stop. You make me look desperate. Stop it. Because he's basically getting a cohort of his crew in there. He texts Ellison going, you should get in on this. It's going to be amazing. Larry goes, yeah, how much for? $1 billion? And Musk goes, well, $2 billion. Ellison goes, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever. That's fine. Just pure speculative numbers. These tweets are really worth reading. So Musk putting down Jason, Musk, getting the money out of Larry, Musk putting down the CEO of Twitter, and just having this back and forth, clearly needing a trigger, realizing they can't get along, where he just goes, what have you got done this week?
What have you got done this week, to the CEO of Twitter? I love that he says I interface better with engineers as well. That he just doesn't want, he says, the way he says it, I interface better with engineers. He literally thinks of it in terms of terminals and, how does not want any buffer at all. Wants to literally connect into the system.
He also just wants zero tolerance for stakeholder management or people or hogs. There should be no managers. It should be just people doing the right thing. Go.
Yeah, doing the right thing.
As long as that right thing is my
everyone's
thing.
An engineer. Yeah,
exactly. It's amazing, and Jack doesn't come out well. Anyway, they're really, really fun to read and really insightful as far as.
It's a pity there won't be a trial. Are you surprised he's not going to just do the $1 billion penalty clause? That he's going to. It's a $44 billion deal. Are you surprised that he's not going to, whatever it's called, the poison pill Yeah.
What's not the poison? It's the So as a result, 3 days later of this leak, or 4 days later, he announces we're going to go through with it. Actually, it's done, and he did it through a 3 hour 2023 annual planning of that was happening with the execs at Twitter. In the middle of that, he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to do it," and announces it via the media, obviously. So now it's looks like it's going through the latest draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if that flips around again.
Yeah.
But yeah, is it that? At the same time, though, some of the banks who went in for the consortium for the $44 billion, not Larry yet, but the banks have started pulling out because they read the tweets. They read the tweets and realized, and the text, and they realized they don't know what they're going to do with this bloody company, so I'm out. Musk has doubled down. He's like, no, this is going to be the Everything X app.
The X app.
We want to make it
WeChat.
WeChat. Yeah, exactly. The super app. The missing
Sorry,
American
what is
super
WeChat?
app.
What do they do? Just for the folks who don't know.
Well, everything basically. It's the
Payments
Chinese app
and
of choice.
And
Started as payments and then became everything. Social, shopping, everything in between. Do your laundry, do your deliveries, food,
do your lottery, do anything
It also became a platform. So there's all these micro apps, mini apps on there. So it became the internet. It's the internet for it's the QR code in the streets.
It's a good idea. I mean, I think there's a market for it here. You just have to buy a Twitter to start it. You need I'd be much more interested if Meta was doing something like that.
Everyone's been trying to do a super app. Everyone's been trying to do a super app.
Yeah.
Meta absolutely has been trying to do it through any of their apps.
WhatsApp, something.
Everyone's been trying to do a super app. It's just how much can you get into one thing and how much can you turn it to. Notionally, the web is meant to be the super app of choice, right? Your phone is the super app, and then you just tap the various applications. You don't need it to be a native app that has the sub applications. But anyway. So that's an amazing saga. And it's clearly not over. And if it does go out this way and he does own it and he does stuff with it, oh my goodness, it's going to be incredible. Like,
will you leave Twitter? Will it affect you in any way? No.
Why would you leave Twitter? I mean, unless it shuts down. Oh, no, I don't see you leaving Twitter. And I think it's going to be really hard to set up another social anything, any other graph, in the meantime.
Well, there's Truth Social. We could always switch over to Truth.
That's the hot one. I'm ready.
Our Truth.
One of the Web3 alternatives are going to come out.
Did you watch the Tesla AI robot mate with Optimus showcasing? He's got two gens. He's got like current gen prototype and then next gen. That he's working on at the same time with fully custom. So he's got like off the shelf components and then custom components, and they're doing it at the same time.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff, but it's 20-year-old tech. Like, it is stuff that was debuted 20 years ago.
The hardware was. I think his point is exactly that. Is that the hardware is, but the hardware is not the hard bit anymore. Yeah, it's the vision and the AI brains, quote unquote, is the hard bit, and that's the bit that they've cracked with the cars, and therefore they transpose it. I'm not sure how much I believe that this transposition bit, but I do buy the dimension of hardware versus software, and where Boston Dynamics have nailed hardware in a very neat sliver. They have not nailed general AI to actually power that hardware.
Someone was saying, why doesn't he acquire Boston Dynamics? They're only $1 billion company apparently, that surprised me. I thought they were bigger than that, given how well known they are, a household name.
Google had it for a while, didn't we? And then we gave them back.
Oh, is that right? Were they acquired by Google and they just spun them out?
Yeah.
I think it's right though. I think hardware is not the problem. I think you're right there. And they're
and I think that's the insight where you look at it, and we'll look at it later and we'll go, oh, of course, why didn't we see that? He's looking for commodity production. First of all, the angle here is not about proof of concept, super performing robots. It's actually about really mundane productivity robots. Yeah. Watering plants, working in the factory, n-dimensional stuff.
Loading the dishwasher.
Doing like industrial chores first, maybe domestic chores. And for that, you don't need robots doing backflips. You need very capable kind of general purpose AI and like core functionality that humans have, maybe more powered than humans, heavier, faster, etc. So the idea that you have, a lower battery, so it's not as big as the Boston Dynamics because you don't need that sort of battery life. You just need. It's not a ward robot. This is a robot that you can easily charge every night, put themselves back in a charging dock. Yeah. You don't necessarily care about weight. You don't care about. It's just looking at the problem through. What are the actual constraints? What do I move when the solution, the problem I'm trying to solve is very different? Right. And it's great to see. It's really great to see. I don't need particular hardware. That's not the challenge here. I just need the basic functions. Now let's work out if we can train the thing.
And it's moving quickly. I mean, it is moving up through basic steps and then using counterbalance with arms. And it's moving quickly, but it's still, the skeptic in me is like, Tesla sales are they shipped something like 350,000 cars last quarter. Things, if you look at what they're selling the Model X and the Model Y. They sold 20,000 Model S's last quarter. So it's all the low end cars. And then General Motors and other competitors are starting to ramp up production. So the skeptic in me is like, what else were they going to talk about at Tesla Day than their new Optimus robot?
But they haven't spoken about the car. So this is AI Day, and they haven't spoken about the car in like 4 years on AI Day. AI Day is meant to be for like it was the robot and it was Neuralink, and I don't think it was ever
Neuralink,
autopilot for a while.
Yeah.
So I kind of
you expect it to be totally tangential.
It was meant to be about the robot from like he was advertising about the robot months ago, right? It was meant to be, last year was about the robot with the fake robot and the kind of
someone in a suit. That's what he said though. He's like, last year it was someone in a suit, just to set context. At least it's not someone in a suit this year. So it's like, okay, that is actually pretty good.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
I buy the premise of general purpose robotics for productivity. Let's see if they're the ones that nail it.
Be cool, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure, Remy. Like he's talking about producing millions of these, and so he's like trying to factor in production and manufacturability from the beginning. And it's like, I wonder how useful. Yeah, I wonder what the most basic things that they could do would be that you would pay $20,000 for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the comparison little is the classic Toyota, whatever it is, 12-dimensional manufacturing arms, robotic arms for building cars, and they're kind of the most general purpose of the manufacturing style robotics. And what are they, like they're $200,000 a piece or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And the question is, what are the functions that aren't that, but that are around the factory floor?
The
low
low end stuff, but they still need to be $20,000 is still a lot of money. So you still need to have. There's only, isn't it? I mean, to sell millions of them. I mean,
it is, but isn't it like every fulfillment center has one now? Like, isn't that where not one,
maybe.
but you arm them up with 100 and
maybe,
like
maybe
200,
like maybe
a $2 billion fulfillment center. You pack it with $200,000 worth of, or $2 million worth of robots. Like it's not out of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought at all about the economics of it.